Boom, showtime, ladies and gentlemen, showtime. So, I just want to thank y'all for being a great audience. And give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody's so lovely. You just look so lovely tonight. And while you're in the clap mood, a round of applause for my band, Sexual Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. And give them a sense of pride. Make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind them how it used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, they can't take away my dignity. Because greatest love falls inside of me. Sexual Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate. You know what I'm saying? So, we get the show started with a public service announcement. We haven't done one of these in a minute. But today's public service announcement is this particular summer, we're not going to be drinking alcohol that makes us horny around people who are ugly. Okay? That's got to stop, you guys. Okay? If you know certain alcohols make you act outside of your character, then don't drink that alcohol around people who are ugly, okay? Because this is where these babies are coming from. You know what babies I'm talking about. You see them out there. I'm not the only one that's seeing them. Right? Okay, and the only way to put a stop to it is if y'all take control of your behavior. Take some accountability, okay? Stop drinking liquor that makes you horny when you're around ugly people. We were talking about it the other day, how once you start drinking, you start to find something cute about people. Like, they're not cute, but there's something cute about them. and that's not necessarily true, okay? Let's go with our first impressions. What's going on? Dirty Rich is in the house. Jen is in the house. Jen appreciates my singing more than anybody, y'all. And I want y'all to know that. She really, really does. And so I appreciate her appreciating me. You feel me? Because that's what's going on. Boom, boom. So we're going to, while we're waiting on folks, we're going to talk about how sneaky women are. And so here's the topic is essentially that if you have spent any time as a side dude, you probably trust women less than anyone on planet Earth. Right? If you have ever spent any time as a side dude, you trust women less than anyone on planet Earth. And the reason is because you see how deep it can go, how sneaky and slick and sly and low down, dirty and dastardly they're willing to be in order to do what they want to do. Right? In order to just do what they want to do, they can be really slick and sly and nasty about it. So one of the stories that made me make this a topic was, dude said he was a side dude. He was a nurse in a hospital, and everybody knows if they wear scrubs, it's an automatic red flag. I don't care what they're doing. All right. So what's the name? The dude said he was working in a hospital. He said what the girl would do to get away with this is she would send the grocery list to her side dude. Okay? Oh, I was just talking about y'all and how untrustworthy you all can be typically. So anyway, let me finish my story. She can hop in. So the dude said the girl that he was dealing with in the hospital would send him their grocery list. Okay. And when she would send the grocery list, he would go buy the groceries. Okay. And then when he bought the groceries, she would tell her dude, hey, I'm going to go grocery shopping, which buys her 40 minutes to an hour. Okay. Buys her 40 minutes to an hour. So then she would leave the house, go straight to the side dude, spend the hour with him, and then take the groceries from him and bring them home. Okay, as if she had been in the supermarket. Okay. And so he said, when I saw that, I was done trusting women forever. Because you can't even let them go grocery shopping no more. You can't even actually trust that she actually went to the store to buy groceries anymore. So that's why I say if you have ever spent any time as a side dude, you trust women less than anyone. Okay. I knew somebody who would, like, she knew her dude didn't want to go nowhere or do anything with her. Right? He just didn't. And that was kind of her complaining about him. And so, but she would bank on that. And so how she would essentially get away with it is to invite him, knowing he's going to say no, but banking on that so that she could go and be where she was doing what she was doing. But having invited him didn't raise any suspicion, right? Because if I was doing something, I wouldn't have invited you. And so as long as he was invited, he didn't question it. And that was the way she got away with it. So anyway, it's just to say that women are exactly who I say they are.
That's actually crazy. So I have a story.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. What's up?
Yeah. So I was never anyone's side piece, but there was when I was with Terrence. I found this out after we broke up, by the way.
Okay.
He went to go purchase a car, but he also used that opportunity to go see his ex so he could show her his car. So, I'm aware of the car buying process. Sometimes it can take hours. I'm aware. And he used
Mhm.
that to his advantage to go see his ex. So I was just like, here I am, like I prepared dinner. I went and bought like his favorite beef.
That's the thing, man.
Ah,
Uh,
I
that's
was
the
like,
thing that makes people mad. Because the whole time you're getting played, you know what I'm saying? And you over here doing extra and going above and beyond.
yeah,
All the time you get played.
he just got off work. He had to go do that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like
Yeah.
he like kicking it with her family, like had dinner at the crib and everything. Just I
You come home, I'm not hungry, babe.
no,
Why are you hungry?
he's
You
still
still
able.
ate?
Hmm.
So you can't raise suspicions. Can't raise suspicions. That is outrageous. So no one can be trusted. Don't be with anyone. Is the way we except for me. I'm good. Everybody else.
Whatever, dog.
That's how I feel about it. So there was a video where it was like a compilation video where a bunch of women were recording themselves asking their baby daddy for an extra $50. And the premise is we're going to show how stingy these men are out here by showing the fact that they won't even give us an extra $50 for their kids. And I feel like that kind of shows the opposite in my mind, where number one, they don't talk about the child support that the dudes are already paying. If they're already paying child support, now I don't know these people's situation. Maybe they are, maybe they are not. But to me, if the dude is already paying child support, the fact that he didn't want to give you an extra $50 is not indicative of him being stingy. All right? If you cannot take care of our child with the child support that you're giving, you need to give me our child. Okay, and you're like, oh well, he don't want to take care of blah 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 blah. I'm sure he got a different story. It says I would take custody But she wants to keep making that money, and so she ain't giving up custody. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, point being, not giving up an extra $50 to me is not indicative of him being stingy at all. It doesn't. You need more evidence than that to say that he's stingy. But then the girl that was making the compilation video didn't even have kids. She's talking about she can't believe how women would have babies with these men that can't even give them an extra $50. Like, bitch, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, who are you? Like, I don't know, man. It was just a very strange thing, but it was like almost a sense of entitlement. Like, they supposed to get the extra $50, and the fact that they didn't means something about the dudes. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Like, who's to say they're not already taking care of their responsibilities? So I was thinking about my own situation. I was like, I have one of my children's mother who probably would get to $50, and another one definitely wouldn't. And it could be that too, man. Like, the relationship with the baby mom sometimes can dictate whether you get that $50 or not. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just thought it was a very strange thing, the sense of entitlement that came with the video. Like, look how stingy he is, y'all. He won't even do this for me. Like, I don't know. And then so the other thing is, it points to this idea that these baby moms think they still hold some place in this dude's life. Like, you're not my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? You're not my wife. You're just the mother of my child.
We know, don't we, Josh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We know someone like that, don't we?
Who do we know like that? What do you mean by that?
I call her mom.
Oh, I'm not going to. We're not going to revisit the Angie conversation. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it's true. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just a weird dynamic where even dudes do it too, though, where they feel like they have some kind of they still play some major role in their baby mom's life just because y'all got kids together. And it's like, you don't, bro. You're nobody. To me, having a child with someone doesn't make you somebody in their life. If y'all are still, having relations or, dating each other or whatever, then okay. But if you're just a child's parent, you're nobody. That makes you nobody. Equivalent to a stranger, in my mind. Is there anything that you want to touch on with any of that?
I never understood the sense of entitlement that most women have. I've been in situations with like family members, not even talking about my mom, where I've called them out like, hey, like, he didn't leave y'all, he left you.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the kid. Like, I've had to have that conversation. So I agree.
Yeah. That is a profound statement. He didn't leave y'all. He left you. And people can't make that separation, man. And they'll force the issue. They'll say, no, you didn't want to be here, so you don't want to be here for none of us. You can't talk to none of us.
Tell
It's
the
like,
kid
bro.
dad left them and shit or stuff. Just,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay.
Toxic.
Super. All right. Okay, here's one for you. Here's one that you're gonna have to speak upon because you gotta speak for all women. Remember that. That's what the paperwork said.
Okay.
Women's idealism in relationships, marriage, and reproduction is killing us all. Okay? Looking for the perfect relationship or perfect partner has y'all hopscotching through all the candidates. Looking for the perfect marriage has y'all divorcing good men. Looking for the perfect genetic reproduction partner has y'all picking dudes for their genetics without caring about their character. I'm talking about having kids.
Mm-hmm.
So your idealism is the problem here. Okay, this idea that there's a perfect someone or something, and until you find it, you're gonna hopscotch through life through dudes, and it's all good because there's a perfect one, and you just gotta keep going until you find them. What do you think of that?
Okay, so it's crazy because I cannot discredit any of that because I have had conversations with women who I feel like, oh my gosh, I see what men be talking about, you know? I'm not really close with those women. But I will say that I could definitely understand how it would be off-putting to men. You know, it's like I don't want to deal with that, you know? And I kind of used to have this conversation with Crystal like when she was like, "Oh, they got to be tall." And it's like, "Hey man, you need to pick a struggle." You know,
Ah,
you need to
that's a
pick
good
a
way to put
struggle.
it.
Like I say that, and at some point it's like I feel like how they make you feel should be more important than the superficial stuff. You know, because it's like, just taking my parents for example, they were both physically attracted to each other, but they weren't compatible, dad was a caretaker, but dad also had a drinking problem and an anger problem, mom wasn't, an ideal housewife in my dad's eyes. Like it was just so many things. It's like, but all y'all are looking at is what looks good on paper. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
I I personally have never cared that much about stuff. Like clearly I don't care about height. But I don't know. I agree. Like I said, I've spoken to some women who shared those sentiments of everything you just read off, and I'm just kind of like, ooh, the delusion.
Yeah. Thank you for being honest about that. Because, a lot of times I'll say things on this show that are clearly from women, that women do or say all the time. And they will sit here and tell me, we don't do that. You're full of shit. You don't even know what you're talking about. Women don't do that. Women don't say
Yeah,
that. Women don't think like
they're
that. And so,
they're lying, and they know somebody who do say and think like that. And frankly, at this point, the girl code or woman code or whatever goes out the window because you sound nuts.
right, 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 right. Isaac, did you hear the topic?
As far as people based upon who they're picking their partners on, based upon less than smart decisions. Yeah,
Yeah, this is right up your alley.
no, that I think I'm gonna give the women some credit here. I think women are. I'm hoping because what I'm seeing, there are more women that's like maybe we got this thing wrong. I'm starting to see it's a very slow turn, very
Okay.
slow. It's a turn nonetheless. I think that from what I'm just seeing in the Twitterverse and everything else, women are like, maybe we didn't do this exactly right. The problem is men kind of when we overcorrect. So we was like, you know what? If y'all want it to be this way, wham, and we just kind of just were like, we'll do it this way. And I think the biggest issue that we're having right now is trying to have an even kill because it's like super. I think the extremes are so extreme that
Mm-hmm.
we're struggling and trying to get back to just what like the
Normalcy.
base par is like. And you got some dudes that says they want to marry a 19-year-old virgin. Then you got some women that says my man better be 6'5", make $200,000 a year, or I won't even talk to him. So those are the extremes that we are in. No one wants to marry the guy that's making $65,000 a year. And that when I was a kid, that was darn good money. You good 65K, you good, you all right. I mean,
Mhm.
you there's always room for improvement. So I think what we're starting to do is realize that some of the things that we talked about, they became super extreme. And now we're trying to kind of bring it back. The problem is the damage that has been done while we've been in these extremes. I think that's hard to overcome. Um,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the issue that I'm seeing right now because I didn't get into it, but
Yes, you did.
yeah, I
I'm
did.
about
I
to
got into
say, you ever
it.
seen it? He
Yeah.
always just got into it with somebody about something.
Just got into it. I was trying to explain. I was asking a young lady. I said, "When did you?" I said, "Listen, I'm happy that where you're at is where you're at. Cool, but when did you start to have these standards? When did that start?" I said, "If you've been doing this since you were 16, 17, he has to do A, B, C, and D before. Not even talking about anything crazy, but just regular stuff to even talk to me. Like he can't just. I'm not going to his house to meet up. I'm not meeting him at his crib. We're not like that's just baseline stuff. If that was at 17, 18, cool. But if you're 28 and you've lived a certain lifestyle and you're 28 now, I said, if you're going to be honest with your partner about that, your man will say that he's cool with it, but in the back of his mind, there's going to be some resentful shit there. And I don't think it's necessarily his. Maybe it's just our nature. So I was like, you got to
Well,
be honest, kind of be honest about it, though.
I think you're segueing into the next thing because
Oh,
that
okay.
is something I was thinking about. So we are, as men, looking for women who have, the fewer the partners, the better, right? And especially as they get older, the fewer the partners, the better, right? That's what we think.
Yeah, that's what you think.
But is that really the right way to think about it? Because think about any long-term relationship you have had where you've been with the same woman for
Okay.
months, years, call it a couple of years. There's no corner left unturned on that particular woman in that particular relationship. And then you talk about say she in her life has had 3 long-term relationships, and those are her only partners. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
them dudes have probably you
Yeah.
talking about
So
year 4 or 5. I mean, it's probably. Whereas if she's had many short-term partners, there's probably a lot of stuff she's not willing to do with strangers. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, essentially, you get your missionary and you get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And she's barely used. She's barely used at that
so
point.
I don't. First of all, the term used is that's crazy.
I
But
mean,
that's crazy. But so I'm gonna say something, and I'm not trying to double talk. I'm not trying to say something and then go right back on it. Your partner number is your partner number. I can't do nothing if that's that. I've never gotten mad about a woman's count, nothing like that, because that literally has nothing to know. That literally has nothing to do with me. I can't tell you what to do with your body. What I have gotten upset about
okay.
is I don't understand if that's just if that's your standard and that's what you've always gone for. I don't understand what is different about me that you think that this is cool to have like, and that's been like, and it comes off as fucked up, but it's not. I'm not trying to be. If that's what you've been doing your whole life or your 20s or whatever, however age you are, what is it? And this isn't the negative. What is it about me that you're like, okay, I want to settle down with you? What is that? What is it? What is
That's like what
that?
Shannon Sharp said. But can y'all see the comments?
No, I can't.
No.
Okay, so so Christopher put a baseball cap in
Oh,
the
so Cap.
comment.
Oh,
I
his
mean,
cap. Calling cap.
and now if the number is crazy, yeah, the number is crazy. I get it, but
I was just
like,
gonna say because like if anybody looks at any of the old shows,
no.
it feels
If
like
the
everything
number
you
is
ever said
if the
was
number
different
is
from that.
crazy, if the number's crazy, the number's crazy. But you can't change it. What I'm saying is where if you have these standards, at what point did you come to this point and be like, okay, I'm not doing this? Maybe did you not think to not do this the entire time? That's just my only thing.
Yeah, I think your point is Shannon Sharp's point, where he was saying on one of his shows with Ocho, he
Oh
was
yeah.
saying like, women they have 700 partners, and then they get with me and they want to be together. You know what I'm saying? He said, he
Like,
said they get with me, then they say, oh man, the Lord said He was going to send you a man. He didn't send me.
he didn't
Jesus
send me.
wasn't
I'm
talking
telling you,
about me. I'm going to give you what everybody else gave
else
you.
got. That's true. And my thing is that wrong on the man's part? Is that jacked up? Especially like if you're known that way, like let's say if you in a community and you Hawaii, perfect example. If I know you, like I know you, like yo, hold on, I know you.
Mhm.
What is it that you thought was gonna be like? Hey, I was gonna. I'm tired of men and women have to accepting immoral behavior when people knew better in the beginning. Like I just think,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool. But like, I feel like there's a double standard with that because you don't want to accept my 60 people, but I have to accept your 300.
Who's fucking 300 people?
Man, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
crazy.
think that's a misconception about what
Exception.
men are out here
You
actually
know, yeah,
accomplishing.
most men don't get vagina. Like, that's
Yeah.
not really, yeah.
And
I
a
had
lot
an
of dudes
experience
don't
the other
cross
night.
20 in a
Yeah,
lifetime.
yeah, some people don't hit 20. Some men
Because you
don't
got to
hit 20.
consider, like, I think Isaac made this point one time that was very, very profound. And he was like, think about what I would have to do to convince you to have sex with me tonight, vice what you would have to do to convince me to have
Me,
sex with you tonight.
yeah, what do you think you would have to say to me? What do you think you would have to come up? What do you think? What profound what do you think would have to say?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what's up? What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
So that's the thing is like, I think women have this very odd conception of what men are. Men are out here slaying 300, 400
Yeah,
people.
no, it's
Smashing.
not like
Like,
no.
what dude do you know that's
What
doing
do
that?
you know? What? That's some rapper, NFL, NBA. You got to be either you one of them dudes, but that's a small percent. Most dudes would just be chilling. I don't understand why we got this. You're out there, like you go out there, like women that think they man be cheating. Nobody liked him before you. Like you liked him, and that's it. You be like, all right, yeah. So you think now because he got you, he gets all the bitches? They don't even add up.
Right.
Like, what logic?
We're actually wondering what you're doing with him.
Yeah, we was confused about all those. Like, I don't understand why you was with him.
Yeah. So that is very, very interesting.
Okay, 60.
See, but you said you had 60 and he had 300. And it's like, there ain't no dude. And then obviously 300 is an exaggeration. I don't think most dudes are crossing 30.
Yeah.
In a lifetime. I really don't. Because who
I know a couple of people, including my brother. And
yeah, but
that
those
that
are the
tracks. That kind of tracks. That's all I'm saying.
but that's like I always say, there's a 1% of dudes that 100% of women are trying to be with. You know what I'm saying? 1% of dudes that 100% of women are trying to be with, and the other 99% of dudes are not pulling like that. We had this conversation the other day about the on the show. Where you are on the totem pole?
Yeah,
like,
you know where you add up at. So.
That's just not a thing.
Do y'all include the partners from when you guys were in like group situations?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
What kind of life did you live?
I don't know what I'm talking.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We want to go there?
No, I don't want to go there. Actually,
no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go there.
That's what I thought.
I don't know what.
But even so call it a group situation.
Hold on, Chris. This has been my name for quite some time. Are you bringing my name up? Having something to say? Because we've been in this thing together. You've seen it before. Where are you going with this, Chris? Right?
I think he might have been talking about your number of 60 being outlandish. I think because he said something before.
I often ask women this. I'll be trying to y'all know how hard it is to get some vagina? It's not the easiest thing to accomplish.
It's very difficult.
I mean, never mind.
This is what I be talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think y'all have a misconception about what dudes are doing out here. Because, like he said, I don't know if you heard that part because you had dipped out, but like Isaac was saying at one time, is like, just think about what I would have to say to you to convince you to have sex with me tonight. And think about what you would have to say to me to convince me to have sex with you tonight. Like, it's not close.
It's
It's
not
not
even.
close. You know
You know
what I
what's
mean?
crazy?
Like,
I can send her a PowerPoint of literally how life is going to be better. Like, yeah, this is how your credit score will go from 700 to 9,000.
I
This
can get
is
you in that house
listen,
tonight, baby.
listen. I can give a presentation, PowerPoint, documentation,
Yeah,
cited and
yeah,
signed and notarized. She's like, get
exactly.
the fuck off my doorstep. I'm like, that is fair. Like, and I was like, you know what I would do? I would close my aftershave case. I would get my drink, and I was like, I
Okay,
appreciate
so
that.
I feel like this
We
is
gotta
a
talk.
sensitive topic because
It's fucked
honestly,
up. We'll talk about it. Not
honestly,
really, but we'll talk about it.
a lot of guys aren't affable. And more oftentimes than not, you guys are talking yourself out of it. You know,
Amen. I agree with that.
I think we need to start being real with ourselves. Look at you, and then look at the person you're trying to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
No
Ask,
one wants to fuck on their level. You're absolutely right. Come on, you're talking good.
am I affable? You need to start being honest with yourself. And when I say you, I'm speaking in general.
No,
Most
I
Right.
men
didn't
who
even take
have
offense. I didn't take offense. It's
need to start
okay.
being honest.
So she's going to break her body. That
Yeah.
nigga whole piece. But I think
Yeah.
so. Can I ask you, so Michelle, what's the last guy you wanted to have sex with that you didn't? See how forward? See how am I with the fuck? Like she
Like,
had
what do
me
you even mean?
thinking.
Right,
She had me
right.
thinking the head like, wait a minute. She said,
Wait,
wait a minute.
sometimes y'all want to have sex with
Wait,
people and
yeah,
then you
like, wait a
don't,
minute.
right?
So
Yeah.
right. So if you want to take a sip of your beer, you can. That's fine.
You know,
There you
just
go.
take a
Oh, there you
take a
go.
minute. Yeah,
There you
we'll be
go.
here.
Take
I got a
a
little
minute.
water.
So
Wait, no, Josh, the guy I told you about.
That's why I figured your mind would go.
that's
But you get
But
his point.
it was still an amazing experience.
Yeah, exactly. You get his point. Like the fact that y'all didn't actually have intercourse had nothing to do with his not wanting to or any of that. So don't really count. You get what he's
also
saying?
Yeah.
also you see how she went to that one guy, that one guy,
Yeah, one.
that one guy, this one time in
Yeah.
band camp. I
Yeah.
can name 37 off the top of my head.
You got
And
friends
this
of
is
Felicia.
and this is with the haircut, with the good job, everything that was going right. Like, no, they don't do it. So I think that it's just different. It's just I think it's just different for us because you and I always say this because I want you to mean it because I don't think women hear it enough. You're a very gorgeous woman and you're intelligent. So I love how the fact you can
Yeah.
decipher men. You all right, whatever. And I love how you can decipher bullshit from like reality. But Michelle, you can fuck pretty much whoever you want to. And you like, if you left your house tonight and you went to a bar on a Taco Tuesday, and some you were like him, you didn't even have to be cute about it. You'd be like, hey, you. He'd probably be like, what?
Yeah. In
What's
a
going on?
hoodie.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
pull it up in a
In
hoodie.
a hoodie and some bullshit. Don't get cute like you normally do. Don't do none of that. Don't do matching shit. Go out there in some bullshit and your face pretty and you just, hey you, what's your name? And the dude gonna be like, wait, what's going on? Hi, I'm Michelle. My name's whatever the fuck. Hey, what are you doing after this? He's gonna be like, fucking nothing. So yeah, don't do it. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, don't do it.
Yeah.
But guarantee.
No, so
Please
that
don't do
literally happened to me a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. Like I ran into somebody that I went out with a couple of times, and I was like, "Where are your friends?" He was like, "I don't know, like they left or something." So I was like, "Hey, come back home with me. I'm gonna take you home in the morning." He was like, "All right."
that sickens me. That
Do you
sickens me.
know
Yeah.
all I heard if that was a man, hey, get in my van. We're going back to my house. Get in this van. Hey, haven't
Yeah.
seen
You
hey,
know.
we hung out a couple of times a year ago. I haven't seen you. I don't know what your life is like. Come home with me tonight and I will take you home in the morning. What type of bullshit? Hey man,
Man.
this is a judge free zone. But I'm just
Yeah.
simply saying.
I guess I
Gang.
got this candy and I got this
So
band.
Yeah.
then a couple months ago, I saw this guy on
Oh,
one of my friends' page, and I like took a screenshot and I circled him. I was like, "Hey, yo, who is that?" And then they told me. I was like, "What's up?" And a month later,
See,
that
Niggas
he
be
we
folded.
lived
Niggas be
in our
folded. They fold.
gotta
They
be
fold.
better.
We gotta
You
be
know what? This
better,
is a good
man.
segue
Don't
into the
let
next topic.
Michelle. Don't let Michelle just smash and not talk to you no more. Don't let her
What
do
are y'all
it.
doing out here,
Look at
guys?
you do it. You fucked it up for the rest of us. Like we haven't set a
uh,
standard about what we're not
so
gonna do around here.
that
That
is a. Let's look at the
that is
chat. You y'all see the
average.
comments?
Chris is such an op. Chris, you're an op.
That is crazy. Like
Uh, so
where?
the
Look, if you
next
want Michelle
topic,
experience, just say that.
Oh my
the next
god!
topic
It's
is
like Michelle. Like Michelle be keeping her clothes on during sex and then leave. I'll holler at you, nigga. Like, I'll holler at you, nigga. It was cool, but I'm a dip on you. Like you know, you just fuck with your pants around your ankles. Don't take them off. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you
yeah,
later. And I'm like, all
yes,
right.
I'm gonna pass around the ankles,
Like, yeah,
you
I'm
know,
gonna holler at you. Yeah,
you know what I'm
I'm gonna holler at
saying.
you.
What I was gonna say is the next topic is men having to know their worth too. Okay, because
See how funny that
women,
is? See how funny that is to her? See how
you
funny
know what
that
I'm
is?
saying?
You like the fuck? Know your worth.
Unhand me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hand me now. Do not touch me.
Touch me. You get your hands to keep your hands to yourself, man.
But that's why I say that because man, we be we get these women in our mind that we feel like we want to be with for whatever the reason is, and then they pick and choose us, right? Like I said, there's 1% of men that 100% of women want to be with, and the rest of us fall somewhere.
We're down.
You know, blur, blur,
That
blur.
nigga said, Chris said, I'm
on
on
that list,
clearance.
right?
Good God. I'm
Yeah.
on
And
clearance.
so they treat us that way, right? They treat us that way in real life. And so they will not choose you to your face over and over and over again. Not
Right.
choose you to your face over and over and over again. Purposely choose around you to your face over and over and over
No
again.
face.
And then one day they'll decide, shit else to do. He's still standing there.
That's crazy.
Why not? That's what you are. Okay, fellas? Picture this. That's the decision that's being made. Man, shit else to do. You know what I mean? It's not he's great. I want to be with him, and I just took a while to come to that realization. No, that's not what's happening. You just the leftovers, and I've done everything else I wanted to do, so why not? Because it's been a while, there's no new nothing. And
So
at least he'd be
there's
worth a couple dates. I get some meals out of it. That's the
crazy.
decision that's being made. Right?
So
You're not a priority.
it's two things. I think dudes that do that, they fake like they're a girl's friend, and you trying to hope and like sympathy your way into some pussy, and
The
that's
long game.
yeah. But that shit don't work. I'm under the mindset. If anybody's played basketball or whatever, if you ever lose, I used to take my ball and go home. Like fuck that, y'all ain't playing with my shit no more. So take whatever your proverbial manhood is, take that shit and go home. She don't like you, and it's okay for her not to like you. What is dumb is for you to stay and have quote unquote hope. And when she do quote unquote choose you, she's seen what you about, so you probably gonna get ran over. And it's like, bro, just don't play the game. Like, you know what? Be appreciated for what it is. And she just don't like you. Like, and don't get all pissy about it. She don't like
But see,
you.
that's the thing. It's further than that because I think that's a decision that's being made when you decide to actually be her friend when she friends you. You see what I'm saying? You're already saying to yourself, I'm fine with her not liking me. That's cool. I'm going to move on with my life, find somebody else. But I still be cool with her. She's not a,
Shit, an
whatever.
asshole, yeah.
What I'm talking about is the day that she actually comes around.
You says,
can't rock with
her.
Okay,
You can't rock
now
with her.
you.
You can't rock with her.
Because that's what dudes are folded. And I think that's part of the problem with us losing worth. Because if they know they can do that, right, and I'll keep them around until it's a rainy day, and then I'll break that glass. You know what I'm saying? And use them.
So I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
We're speaking
Okay.
on Josh, have you ever found yourself in that situation? And if you have, how did you respond?
it depends on how I felt about that person, and it depends on, to me, how they treated me. How they treated me. So there are varying degrees of to your face. To your face, not you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
I think there's varying degrees of that, right? Now, it was situations where neither one of y'all could at the time because you both had a situation going on, but y'all stayed cool and then, down the road, okay, so that's different. But if it could have been me, I'm single, I'm available, I'm interested in you, obviously, and purposely not me over and over and over again. Everybody but me, even some questionable ones, and not me. You know what I'm saying? And then, but now me, no man, I'm worth more than that. You know what I mean? I'm worth more than that.
I mean,
I
y'all
got some
both
shit going on.
thing, right? Though, like,
I'll say that again.
Well,
but don't y'all want the same thing though? Like, if
Did you want the same thing?
yeah, was it something like casual, or what was it like? Did you actually want to be with these people? Like, did you see a future with these people?
Yeah, I mean, if y'all end up being just normally, if you end up being really good friends, right, to where this friend zone thing happens for an extended period of time, to make it the situation so that eventually she could come back around and say, okay, yeah, then that means that there was some chemistry right there at the beginning. Otherwise, you couldn't have been friends that long. Right? There would have been no reason for it. So yeah, there's a idea. There wasn't the case that at the beginning, oh, I wanted to smash, but she wanted a relationship, and so that's why friend zone. That's not how that normally goes. Normally, it is I'm single, I'm interested, but you just don't like me, right? I'm not one of the 1%. You're chasing the 1% because you're still young and beautiful and blah, blah, blah. You think you got a shot. And so I'm the 99, so I don't have an opportunity. You think that you deserve the 1% like everyone else thinks that. Fast forward, life happens. You don't ever find the 1%. You're getting older, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward, all of a sudden, Josh is not such a bad. Let me tell you something about Josh. Let me help you understand something about Josh. That's not how you're going to do me.
Look here,
You're not going
sweetheart.
to do me like that.
Look here, sweetheart.
Yeah,
Look here.
I'm worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you can say I'm not one of the 1%. Sure, maybe I'm not, but I'm worth more than that. You're not gonna do that to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think dudes don't do that. They don't stand on that, man. Over and over again, they fold, even in these situations. And as long as women know that you will fold, they'll keep doing it. We got to make a stand, gentlemen. We got to be worth more than that. Okay, you got to take an inventory of yourself and understand you're a catch too. You know what I'm saying? You're a catch too.
I think that's a pride thing, and that's you having the positive reinforcement in your own life. Like, you got to know what you worth, and we talk about this often. The same shit that's cute at 23 ain't cute at 33. Like, so whatever you was doing then, you got to evolve and change and grow. And maybe she didn't like you then, bro, but that still doesn't mean. And also, if she does get with you on the back end, she's never gonna fully, like, I don't think respect is the right word, but you'll never be what she wanted to be. You'll just be some shit that just happened. So it'll never be the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's talk about the men who literally marry women that they don't like because the one that got away didn't want anything to do with them. Let's talk about that, huh?
I don't think it's that they're marrying women they don't like. I
They don't.
think, again, men marry behavior, right? And so if I think she's going to behave in a manner to where we're going to be able to get along and build what I'm intending to build,
Yeah.
I mean, whether I'm attracted to her all the way or whether I'm this, or that,
Yeah.
is secondary to my assessment of her behavior.
And
You
you
see what I'm
also
saying? And so,
you have to take into account men and women get married for very different reasons. So, whereas I think women are in love with the idea of love, men necessarily don't. Okay, so the worst thing that you can do as a man, I think, is realize that you do love a woman. That's not a good thing. Because now you like, shit. You like, dang, no, it's not. So if a man finds out he loves a woman, his mind immediately changed, because the way you view love and the way I view love is something different. You view love as like, oh my God, this is good. Well, not you, but some women do. Men view love as an act of service. I'd be willing to die for this woman now. I was cool, but now I love her. I got to make sure that she's fed, house. She's my responsibility. That's not a great thing to be like, oh shit. So
I
it's
used to
like,
be able to, you know.
yeah, now I used to be able to, damn it. All right. So now we going from Jordans to Forces, and I'm gonna wear these jeans for 8 years now. So it's just a different level of of love. It's more service. So it's we do things very differently. And if a woman comes in on the back end, she never felt that for you, like kind of in the first place, and you just like the crash dummy, you just like the last guy, that's something else.
Christopher says men marry so they have someone to go home to when they strike out.
God,
Christopher's idea of love and relationships. So for anybody that's in the chat, I'll just preface his comments with he's coming at it from the perspective of a fraternity college guy, which is a very different perspective from most people.
That's a very different level of
you know what I mean? Like things he says and things. So it's like not just the things that he says because of his own experience,
but
it's the things he says because of other people, what he saw other people do, but none of it's real. None of it's stuff that regular people saw or do.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so we often say that about Hawaii. We tell people, so when we talk about body counts and Michelle was like, men be out here having sex with 100 women. When you go back to Hawaii and you think, not us, of course, not us.
I would do something like that.
I would never be out there like that. But when you look at what we were doing in that time, it's not insane to be able to, 12 chicks in a year. That's one every month. I've seen dudes knock off few in a month. So Hawaii is true. Yeah, Hawaii was real. Hawaii.
Dirty Rich was out there. Dirty Rich knows.
Hawaii is not real. Hawaii is a cold piece. But like from fraternity brothers, from frat bros to Navy sailors, I can understand you could run through some things, but that's not the reality. It's not the reality.
You know what? So, okay, let me read some of the comments. So, Christopher says, cap to whatever Isaac was just saying. What's the name? Prez Dyer says, I don't either. Chantel says, my husband. I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, the running through the women thing. It's doable out there.
Christopher says, I don't know one happily married man. Actually, Dirty Rich said Hawaii is a true.
Damn.
Chantel says, not all women marry for love, which, not all women have babies for love either.
Yeah, for love. That's crazy. Yeah.
What's the name? Dyer says, crazy. Christopher says, married men, so they have someone to go. Men marry, so they have someone to go. Okay, so I want to talk about that one real quick. Where he said, men marry, so they have someone to go home to when they strike out. I will say that the thing about that you'll notice how bold married men are when they're trying to holler at another woman. Yeah. Right? They don't have any sense of this is going to go poorly. They don't have any sense of, I'm going to get rejected and that's going to hurt my feelings. There's no.
They don't care. They don't care.
It's all go, no stop. But the reason for that, I think, in my mind, the reason for that is it doesn't matter if you fail.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? Because I ain't supposed to be doing this no way.
No way. Not supposed to be out here in the first place. So if I come up, I come up. Like if I don't, my wife's at the house. Like that's crazy logic. It's crazy, but yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry.
All right.
So when I worked at the NAFSA Fleet Building here in Norfolk, I would see this Master Chief.
They work. Niggas work.
So he never tried to holler or whatever. Like we were passing renders or whatever, and I told him, he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, it's my last day, and so we exchanged numbers. But I'm thinking from
a professional
logistics, connections. I'm thinking he got connections. That's where my mind goes.
You got connections, all right.
Got connections, right? Yeah, I got something
You
for you.
for like 2 or 3 years, and then right
Mhm.
before he retires, I get an invitation for his retirement. So I go, and again, like nothing crazy happened. He ain't say nothing way. But then after a couple days after his retirement and his party and everything, he was like, um, "Hey, beautiful, it was good seeing you. You have such a chill vibe. I know we don't know each other like that, but I remember chopping it up with you in the NAFSUP building. Your eyes are so mesmerizing." And I'm like, how would I have felt if my husband said that to somebody? You know,
That'd be
so
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a crazy world we live in. It's
like,
crazy.
why did you have to put that in there? Everything else was cool, but like,
It's the world we live in.
It's the world that we live in. That's
eyes
just
rising, sir.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because, you know, you don't have to do that, guys. You know what I'm saying?
you know, I don't
You could just
understand cheating.
chill.
Like I mean, I don't it's not I get it in the instant, but overall just don't if you're gonna do that, then just be by yourself. Especially if
And
you got
I
kids.
was like, you kind of look like a cheater. Like, this is what I'm thinking to myself. You
Now,
kind of.
now, now, look
He
at
was
you,
pretty
right?
Look,
comfortable with
he was
asking my
cute.
number. Like I said, I'm thinking of connection because, like I said, he never
Yeah.
said away. Like he was cool.
Yeah. Interesting. You know, that's just interesting. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, man.
Chantel said,
Crazy.
I don't know. I was taught you can fall in love, marry someone who provides and protects, and keep your coins to yourself. Okay, so that is a segue to the next topic. Okay,
Before you
go ahead.
start, Chantel said happy wife, happy life. That's bullshit.
That's
That doesn't
bullshit.
help. That's bullshit all the way.
Yeah, I'm
That is
taking some.
that's bullshit.
I saw a meme that said "Happy husband" or "I'm gonna f your cousin."
That's
Huh?
not that's that's crazy.
It's,
Why is it
remember,
why do all wives have that one cousin that she know ain't shit? The whole family know
Cousin
ain't
Faith,
shit.
cousin
Just
Faith,
Faith.
I was
him.
gonna
Cousin Faith.
say.
Cousin Faith. Cousin Faith with the bullshit. Cousin Faith is with the bullshit. She
I'll
said,
tell
"You
you
ain't
what,
fix
I'm
your
like,
man."
what, 13 watching that?
She said,
I was like,
"My." I saw a meme the other day. It had Faith. She's like, "You ain't fix your man no plate." I said, "Oh, you wildin'. You wildin'. Yeah,
Oh man, I was 13 rewinding that jam.
yeah."
oh, when they were
So,
standing up in the studio.
Yeah, he was waiting. He was knocking her down, boy.
ooh,
Stand up
father.
in
So,
it.
but the way that provides a segue, where Chantel was saying that you can fall in love, get married, he'll provide and protect, and you can keep your money. So there was the movie. What movie was that? Why did I get married too? I don't know if anybody saw that. Why did I get married to? So in there was the dude Malik Yoba who played the character Gavin, okay, and Janet Jackson who played I don't know Janet Jackson.
Yeah. Jack.
Fucking about. But anyway, so in the movie, Janet Jackson apparently wrote a book. Her and this dude Malik Yoba is about to get divorced, and so they were trying to go through the assets. They're separating assets, right? So I don't know how much anybody knows about divorce, but when you get divorced, anything that you gained while y'all were married is called community property, and it needs to be separated, split. It's both of y'all's needs to be split. So they're going through the assets and what they're splitting, and then Malik Yoba's lawyer was like, "We noticed that you didn't put any of the proceeds from your book
Mm.
into the pot as far as what needs to be separated." She was like, "Oh yeah, I did. That's because I wasn't offering any of that." And Malik Yoba was like, "What you mean?" You know what I'm
what
saying?
you
And she was
mean?
like, "Yeah, that's my book money. That's not on the table. That's my book money." And he was like, "Yeah, but that's part of our marriage, and I'm entitled to some of that." She was like, "No, you're not. You didn't help me write that book. You didn't write a single word. What night did you stay up writing words for this book?" And he was like, "You bounce ideas off me all the time. What are you talking about? Some of my ideas are in that book."
Mm.
And she's like, "I didn't use none of your ideas. I did go to you for ideas, but I didn't use any of them in the book." So anyway, what ends up happening is the music starts playing on Janet Jackson's part because she's losing this battle and she's distraught about it, and it's trying to make you have feelings of sympathy towards Janet Jackson because she's about it. And then Gavin's being very, I don't care what it is, I'm taking half.
Being
And
sassy.
now,
Yeah, they flipped it
yeah,
on there. Yeah.
we supposed to feel sad because Janet Jackson's about to lose half her proceeds for a book she worked very hard to write and put out and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what makes her think that she wasn't gonna give him half of them book proceeds? Like, well, are you crazy? If there had been shoe on the other foot, no question he's giving up half of that. So why is it that because you're a female, you get to keep what you generate in a marriage? And that's Shan's point. That was Chantel's point just now. So I just like that in real life, there are women in real life who believe that the things that they accrue in a marriage are theirs, but also whatever the husband accrues is also at least partly theirs. They say, y'all crazy, bro. Y'all really need to get a fucking grip. Right? Because no, that's not how it works at all. So I'm glad the laws are not written that way. What's the name? Who's it? Don Dyer. I don't even know what the Przur is. I'm not even trying to pronounce that.
Oh my God, I'm having a heart. I know him though.
Okay. So, but he says it's petty to take anything from the marriage. I'm going to take what I came with. Mine is mine. Yours is yours. Man does for himself. Hey, man.
Yeah, that sounds cute.
Right.
That sounds cute as fuck.
If she made $11 million off a book while we were married and I'm going to walk away because that's what chivalrous men do.
Nah,
okay,
dude.
you do that.
Yeah.
You do that. I'm not going to do that.
According to what D-Dog said, then get a prenup. Yo, I don't know if these prenups be as airtight as they're supposed to be. If y'all not, there's a lawyer named James Sexton. He's like, if y'all not watching his content, I'm not pro marriage or pro divorce. I just think before the laws change, before I'll ever do it, because it seems as though if things go sideways, a man's life can be turned upside down. So until we change some things, but yeah, there's a huge misconception of what is allowed in the marriage and what people will go with. Is anything you accrue in that marriage, they can ask for. Like anything that you come up with in that marriage, you literally can ask for. So I think that people need to understand fully. He said the marriage is the most financially significant thing that you will ever do outside of dying. And there's no classes on it. Like there's no real, I think, education on marriage. People just do it. They go to a party. Some people put on some tux. Motherfucker puts on a dress. Y'all sing. And then in 8 years, when shit goes sideways, you wonder why you can't afford the mortgage on your fucking house. So it's real shit. Now, we did the math. The average length of a marriage in America, I think it's 7 years. Before
6 to 8. It was 6 to 8 years. 8. Yeah. I live that reality.
Yeah, 6 to 8. And then some people do this shit again. Some people do it again.
Yeah, I got a friend who is telling me now 3rd time's a charm.
Oh, are you out of your mind?
Tell that out of your mind. It's okay. Like they don't
tell him to listen. Get a girlfriend.
Yeah, it is funny because when I met them, they were already married. Got married very young, but that was already when I met them on the rocks and clearly going to end. And then it did end, and then they had a relationship that was a long-term relationship that didn't end in marriage. But then that relationship ended. Then they got into another long-term relationship that was a marriage, and now that's ending. And now they're talking to the second person that they didn't ever marry. And they're like, this the one.
I don't get it. Yeah, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Anyway, but like to your point, man, community property, just to let y'all know, is anything that is gained or accrued during the marriage. So that means the stuff that you come into the marriage with and the stuff that you accrue after y'all separate for, I forget what the period of time is. I think it's like 6 months. So after the 6 month mark of y'all's separation, anything accrued after that is not marriage property. Anything in between that is marriage property and needs to be separated. Even if y'all both decide that one or the other person gets it, it needs to be on the table and then disposed of, however y'all decide to do it. So,
Imagine winning the lottery and going through a divorce. That would be
she said that's why everything I make money on isn't in my name. She did the athletes, John. What you put in your whose name? Oh no.
Your mom's name?
Yeah, well she could I don't think she put it in her mom's name. It's Chantel.
I can't see the comments. Who said that?
Chantel. So that everything I make money on isn't in my name. And then my man said it's gonna cost you to get whatever. It's so easy to say,
You got it. I'm good. I guess he's thinking it's I think, and also don't let the marriage be like, don't let the divorce be like vindictive. Don't let someone be hurt. We're talking about amicable people. Like we're trying to be amicable about it. And like we're trying to move away easily. No disrespect. Let one of y'all cheated or something crazy happen. Like they out for blood, dude. Like
Christopher says,
even if infidelity wasn't involved.
Yeah. Christopher says, only community property I'm interested in is that pink stuff.
Okay, I'm done.
Chris, why are you here?
Why are you here? Chris,
bro, get your ass. Go to bed.
Go to sleep, G.
God.
What's the name? So
whatever Chris is drinking, I'll have two of them.
You're being a heathen.
I'll have two of them.
Well, what I will say is like a lot of people, like Chantel was just talking about, she's been married for 10 years, right? So just think, 10 years ago, what was she making money on? What assets did she have? Probably not a whole lot. And same thing with a lot of people. A lot of the stuff that you gain that is worth anything, or a lot of things that you end up doing that accrue money for you are during the marriage, right? Especially if you've been married for that amount of time. So like for Chantel, I imagine if they were to get divorced and they were actually to go through, hey, what do we have? What needs to be separated? There would be very little that would be outside the marriage, right? For the time that what they came with and what happened after they separated, there's probably very little for them that goes that way. And so now it's a decision. And they're talking about your retirement, your 401k, all that is an asset and that needs to be separated. And it might need to be half and half, especially if you've been married over 10 years. That is for sure the other person's property.
I don't see how more divorces don't have a murder attached to it. I don't understand. I don't get somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to get out. You want half of my retirement and my pension? You didn't clock 1 hour in this bitch. See, no, I don't. Yeah. God bless them.
Isaac, that is inappropriate.
What's inappropriate?
We're trying to make reels, and you messing it up. We're supposed to watch our mouths.
Okay, you got Chris. Never mind. His is a cat. Okay, my bad. My bad. Chris has been on 12 the whole time I've been here. I say one thing and it's inappropriate.
I can't see Chris's comments. Did he respond to what I said?
He said, "I'm here to learn."
Yeah, he said he's here to learn. That's what he's here for.
Throwing out useless comments. Oh, okay. Cool story, bro.
What's his name? Dyer says, question, you love him, but do you still like the mofo after 3 years? And that was from a couple shows ago where I was saying, I think we as Americans need to just accept the fact that we don't love each other long enough to make marriage make sense anymore.
No, we don't.
We just don't. You know what I mean? So why do we keep doing it? You know what I'm saying? We can just stop. We can just stop.
There's two trends that I'm finally seeing I'm starting to love. Less marriage and less kids. And I'm saying that from a positive standpoint. It's like I'm tired of seeing kids struggle with bad parents because you never wanted the kid, the dad never wanted to have the kid, the mom only had the kid because of A, B, and C. If you don't have children, that's less stress on your life. And then people aren't getting married the same way that they used to. I think that the way that social media has us looking and the way that we view things, we want stuff to happen right now, quickly, fast, now. And people don't. I think marriage is it's supposed to be a lifelong thing, but the one word no one ever talks about is the duty and the sacrifice that goes into that. People see all the highlights. They don't see all the other, they don't see everything else. So I think that we're just not built for it no more. We are not our grandparents or their parents. We're not getting married at 18, 19 and being together for 40, 50 years. We just ain't built that way no more. I don't. Yep.
You want to get married?
Nah, I don't know what that is. No, man.
You want
No,
kids?
Chantel been married for
No, I
10
don't.
years.
That's it. Never mind. So yeah, no, I don't desire children. I never wanted to be a dad. I never thought that was going to be something. I don't have the dad gene.
I want to talk to Chantel. We need you to come on the show. Now, Chantel has refused to come on the show plenty of times before in the past. But the only reason why I'm asking is because she has the perspective of someone who's been married and is still married after 10 years. So she's already beat the odds, right? Because we already said average is 6 to 8 in America. You know what I'm saying? So she's already at the 10-year mark. And what is it? What's the sauce? What's the secret sauce?
Yeah, I do have a question because it's like I think no, that's real. I don't think Chantel's poly. I think that some people put up with certain shit that do people not get divorced? Yeah, because some people put up with certain shit that they just deal with. Like if you know your husband's gonna do something, you deal with it. That's crazy. Or if you know your wife does stuff, can you just deal with it? I think most people don't get divorced because it's like, I don't want to separate my crap. I don't want to have to do all this stuff. So you don't get divorced out of just pure laziness. And I don't want to have to divide all my shit, all my stuff. So, you don't put with anything. Well, that's
so
fine.
Chantel, Chantel said I don't put with anything, and she said
we're dealing with it for the kids. That's crazy. Dealing with the kids like that because that's real. Like I got these kids.
That's Dirty Rich saying we deal with it for the kids. Dirty Rich been married for 17 years.
That is crazy.
So,
what's up?
Dirty Rich, you still? Let me see something.
That's half my life.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Dirty Rich been married for half your life. Let's see something. I just want to ask him what the secret sauce is for 17 years. Dyer said a lot of people just deal. All examples of marriage is bull till they in the public.
Yeah, what's going on?
Dirty Rich, what's the secret sauce for 17 years?
17 years?
You just gotta deal with the shit, man.
But what does that mean?
I'm sorry,
you say that.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, you go with the ups and downs. Sometimes some people fuck up, and then you go with it.
See, define fuck up.
And I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like my kids are young. I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't grow up with parents, and my kids are so used to having me and my wife. Like there's no way in hell, especially now when I'm growing up, we're gonna just ruin their lives because we're not doing well. That's how we both see it.
Are you happy?
No. No.
He said no. So that's see, no, but
what you mean?
No, seriously, no, Michelle, remember when I said duty and men love differently? We know you know how much men do because we not happy? No, what is happiness and men don't go with us. We don't unless I was happy about some shit. No. I got bills and shit. I ain't happy.
Hold on. How long did it take you to realize that you weren't happy?
It's been about year 15.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's been about 2 years. Yeah. We're still cordial. We're still friends, and we still do shit with the kids. Go on vacations and do all that stuff. Yeah.
Do y'all still diddle?
No, not at all.
Damn. That's the reality.
That is a sacrifice.
Look at the reality, y'all.
That is a sacrifice. That is a man making a sacrifice for his children and his own mental well-being.
No, because you're getting ahead of yourself.
All right.
But he's saying they don't diddle, but that don't mean he ain't diddling.
You gotta chill.
We don't.
Come on, man. We don't lie.
Come on, man. Fix your robe. Fix your robe and calm down. Fix your robe and calm
Well,
down.
goddamn, man. You
Calm down.
gonna put me on camera. They ain't trying
You
to.
know what I'm saying? Try to
Goddamn.
Michelle, the goddamn feds. She
be
the
the
feds.
birds, G. You can't have her on here like
I ain't
that.
trying to get my clearance taken, man.
Right,
Get
right.
out of here, man.
Chantel says, no, that's toxic. So Chantel, can you come on the show for a minute? Because I just want to see what's the difference.
No,
Chantel acting like she's still in
I have
love.
Chris Topple here since he talking all this crap. I want
Who,
Chris
what,
Topple
Hello,
what?
like,
too.
yeah,
She
because,
said,
like, what I'm saying is not bullshit. Cap my fucking ass.
Yeah,
Like,
like that's the
I have
thing.
nothing to, I have nothing to fucking hide.
Dirty Rich is telling the truth. So this is the reality that we kind of all know to be the case. But Chantel's acting like she lives in a different reality where there's still love. But she's only been married 10 years. You're at 17, and you said it took you 15.
Kayla's like,
So maybe she just needs another 5. You know what I mean? Give her another 5, and we'll
it's
see
not,
where we sit.
it's not funny, but just the self awareness that he has. He said, "You still have no, like
What
that, no,
are you talking about?
no,
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 you don't do
no,
that.
Shut up.
right?
What you just said is
No,
dumb.
no, everything you makes no sense."
She said, oh, okay, Chantel said, in love? No. Yes, I got love. So even Chantel is
Hell,
like not in love.
well,
She just, I just hope you don't die, I guess. I guess that's
Michelle, do you
probably
want to
what
get
Rich is
married?
too, though.
Michelle, do you want to get married, Michelle?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
You don't need
I
that.
don't know.
Yes,
You
I
don't
do.
need that.
How you gonna tell me? Yes.
Michelle, you be beating dudes. Michelle, you be beating dudes though, and I don't think that's
You said I
positive.
be doing what?
Beating dudes, you be beating dudes up, and I don't think that's a good
No,
thing.
I don't.
Oh,
Who
that's what
told you that?
I've been telling people. My bad. Maybe I'm wrong. My
She
bad.
said, that's what I be telling people. What's your name? Chantel said, well, if he passed, I'll be rich. So.
Yeah,
That is
that's what Sheena says too.
crazy. That is crazy.
Kids gonna be taken care of if I go.
Just saying. So
So
that's funny.
maybe we should do a marriage or license renewal, like every 2 or 3 years. Instead of being married, just we can renew the license or not, and not go through a bunch of like, okay, look, we're not signing this shit again. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a party like I'm happy. Like, no, you're not. Like, you're not. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. That's what I was going to ask. Like, how many traditional households do you even know of?
No,
Like, right now, where you could say, okay, there's a mom and a dad, and there's the kids, and they all happy and love each other, and they live in the same house. How many
I
of
think I
those
know.
do you know of?
I think I know 3. I know 3. And I'm
I
38 years old.
know one.
3, maybe 3,
I
maybe
know
2. Fuck
that
it,
I
I'm pushed
know
down 2.
are genuinely happy. I only know of one. So
I say 2. I'll call it 2.
Call 2.
One of them is off and on, but I think right now they're on. So I'll call it
That's
2.
crazy. That's crazy.
I call it 2.
So why?
But yeah.
I think so. If would I be too far to say that marriage is archaic? It's
Like
it's
old
it's a,
school, like
it's a
an old idea.
technology. It's so I think it's like VHS. We don't. It's not needed anymore. That's the way. We don't need that no more.
Yeah,
It's a
that's what I
videotape.
guess that was my point before. Is like maybe we just, as a society,
Society,
community,
we're done with it.
outgrown it to some degree. She said,
So
"No one is truly happy."
yeah,
Um.
I don't know
Okay.
about that.
He said
Yeah,
the person isn't perfect. I can tell you, I know I'm not perfect. I was being annoying
absolutely.
today in a way that was. I think I was being annoying a little bit on purpose today. So it was one of my purposely annoying days.
Yeah,
But
I was a piece of shit today. I ain't gonna hold you. Excuse me. I'm sorry because I was
so we're
done
cooked.
today.
But that's my thing is like I think that's kind of how dudes are, man. If the dude really really likes you, then like when you're around the house, whatever, he's doing karate in your face and all this shit. Like, get out of my face.
If you got a man that comes home and goes straight to that garage,
Yeah,
he don't want
exactly.
to
He
talk.
don't want.
Like, they don't want to talk to you. Like,
He
Yeah,
go
right
down
in
in the
my
basement,
basement.
right?
You go right in the basement. Look at him.
like, don't come down here. Don't come down here.
Yep.
You come down here. What you need? Huh?
Yeah, what you need? What you need? Huh?
I got everything I need down here.
Down
I got
here.
my TV, I got my Xbox, my PlayStation,
You know
my
what I'm
big
saying?
fridge. I'm gonna
Oh,
go.
that's funny.
He got a roommate. He got a roommate. He
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
roommate
yeah.
with kids. Like that's
Hey,
where we at.
that's
So
what it is. Anyway,
yes,
go ahead.
yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I was talking to a lady the other day, or a dude the other day. It was a husband and wife. The wife got pissed because she was like, "Do you have kids?" I said, "No, I'm not married." And I was just dismissive of it. She was like, "You don't have to have kids to be married." I was like, "Ain't that how that shit's supposed to go though?" And she was like, "That's old school." I'm like, why would you like? I think we're getting to the point people are having kids without even thinking about marriage. It's just like, nah, I'm just gonna have the kids. I don't need the marriage part. Well then,
Literally. I've like homegirls that'd be like, "Oh, me and my boyfriend thinking about having a baby." I'm like, "What about marriage?" "Oh, I'm not
marriage.
that."
You got to fight her. Like you got to fight her. Like that don't make
Jump
no
on
sense.
it.
You got to just dive on her. You got to dive on her because that makes no sense.
I would
Yeah.
rather get married before I have a. I would prefer marriage before I would prefer a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because essentially a kid is instant 10 years of marriage, right? Because
Off top.
if y'all decide that y'all don't want to do the relationship part no more, but y'all still got kids, you're splitting the shit. You're still splitting
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well get married. Be married for 10 years if you're going to be splitting the shit anyway. So that's ridiculous. But we have crossed the 8 o'clock hour, and I didn't even do the real. So I didn't even do the reels for last week, so I got to still do those. They're actually on the burner being cooked right now. And then these reels will come out next Monday in preparation for Tuesday. So, bam. So when y'all see reels come out, that's why. So, I had court last week. I'm going to tell you what, man. Court is something I do. Court is something I do. I do it a lot, and I do it well. So,
It's
we
been
got some.
on the East Coast once a year.
How,
Appreciate.
what, say that one more time?
I said it's been nice having you on the East Coast once a year. Once every couple of, you know.
One time for the one time. I spilled a bunch of food on Michelle over the weekend, so that was special.
He dropped his egg and his bowl of ramen, and the broth just splashed a little bit on
Wait a
my
minute. Wait just one
What's that?
second. Wait a second.
What's that?
Wait 1 second.
Hmm?
I'm confused because
Okay.
where were you in the Commonwealth exactly? Because I can't hear you from over here. So where were you?
Oh, I
exactly?
was and get closer so I can hear.
Exactly.
I was
I
in Maryland actually. I stayed
Yeah,
in Maryland this
we met
time.
up in Fairfax because I had to do a friend a favor in Northern Virginia, and I was
got
like, "I'm gonna be in that general area anyway. Let's meet up
good.
for some food."
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's,
Sorry about
that's
the
good
food,
fun.
Billy.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry about the food, Billy. That's cool. I'm just over here suffering. Suffering. When I tell you my life is tight right now, brother, I am not happy right now. Oh God, from Hogwarts to everything else in my life right now, it is not been cool. Michelle, I called this man the other day and I was upset. But man, it was rough in here for a second. I tell you what, life is lifing. I'll tell you that right now.
Life and the
Life is
shit out of some shit.
out of me. Telling you, I can't go to prison getting fucked like this. I can't. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. But anyway,
Well,
so
yeah.
we're
Anyway,
gonna end this show and we'll move on to the next show next week. Thank y'all for coming out, participating in the comments. Please be here same time next week.
peace.
Hey.